and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Writes and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. I want to provide a trigger warning for this chapter as it deals with depression. If you or someone you know is dealing with depression, please reach out to someone you trust. In the description box and at this time card, I will leave some numbers and websites where you can talk to someone. It is okay not to be okay. So, without further ado, enjoy Chapter 21, The Battle Within. Sweetie. The trapdoor to Marinette's room squeaked ever so slightly. Tom's voice broke through the vortex of her thoughts. She didn't answer, so her father cautiously approached the ladder leading to her bed. Sweetie, you haven't left your room in 2 weeks. Everyone is starting to worry about you. We're worried about you. Marinette had transferred to online school so as not to fall behind in her classes. Other than occasionally going to her computer, she mostly stayed in her bed. She hadn't even been taking on any ladybug responsibilities. She couldn't bear to look at her Miraculous, so it had been sitting in the box it came in. She hoped Tiki would understand. Her dad stood patiently waiting for her response, but she didn't know what to say. What could she say? Dad, I'm secretly Ladybug and I screwed up beyond repair that my life isn't worth living anymore? I can't say that. He wouldn't understand. No one understands. She was still unresponsive. Does this have to do with Adrian? I know you broke up a few weeks ago. That's it. Marinette shot up and glared at him from her bed. No, Dad. This has nothing to do with a boy, okay? Nothing. This has everything to do with me and how I'm feeling. I am more than my relationship. I am allowed to be sad without it being because of a boy. Tears began forming in her eyes, but she blinked them away. I know, sweetie. I'm sorry. I just thought... Marinette cut him off abruptly. Yeah, well, you thought wrong. Yes, Adrian and I aren't together anymore. No, I'm not upset about it. Just please leave me alone. Her father said nothing, and she heard the squeak of the trapdoor once more. She was alone, finally. Tears came pouring from her eyes. She couldn't control it. Minutes of self-loathing turned to hours. She hadn't eaten all day and didn't plan to. She wanted her bed to swallow her. She craved the total darkness that only sleep could bring. It was almost nighttime once again, that all but promised the sweet relief from her empty existence. Hey. A familiar voice called from the balcony above her. Marinette looked up at the boy she used to heavily rely on. The one person she felt like would always have her back. Someone she hadn't spoken to since she had failed all of Paris. Instead of returning his greeting, she pulled the comforter over her head and chose to ignore him. Marinette, please talk to me, Cat Noir gently pleaded. Marinette, still completely covered, said, What do you want to talk about? About how I failed you and all of Paris? About how I dragged my best friend into this? Go away, I'm not interested. The corners of Cat Noir's mouth fell into a grimace. Marinette. He took her by surprise as he leapt down to join her on her bed. She finally looked at him, mouth gaping as if to protest. You are better than this. All of this wallowing in self-pity. Not leaving your house? I thought what you needed was time to process everything that has happened. I've given you time, and I've given you space. I miss you. All of Paris misses you. Cat Noir, don't you understand? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I hurt the people that I swore I would protect, and if I can't protect them, what kind of ladybug am I? He hugged Marinette tightly, but swiftly released her. Are you eating? As he held her frame, he couldn't help but notice how frail she had become. He had held her so many times throughout their time together, and she had to weigh at least 20 pounds less. She shirked away from his lingering touch. What kind of question is that? She avoided his concerned gaze. Marinette! He nearly yelled. Fine! She still refused to look at him. I haven't eaten in 3 days, okay? Happy? Now the tears filled Kat's eyes. No, I'm not happy at all, Marinette. He pulled her in for another tight hug, but she went in for a kiss. Marinette fell into Kat's arms and kissed him deeply. He didn't pull away. He had missed this. Cat Noir had longed for her touch since they had broken up 2 weeks ago. He had wanted more than anything to reach out, but thought she needed space. He cradled her thin face and entangled his fingers in her hair. She became extremely aware of what she did. She backed away and gasped, "Cat, I am so sorry, I didn't. What I mean is, I shouldn't have kissed you. And She was flustered and embarrassed, but Cat Noir couldn't help but smile at her. "I've missed you so much, Bugaboo. I'm going to go get you something to eat. Don't go anywhere, okay?" He winked at her and hopped down from her bed. "I haven't gone anywhere in 2 weeks. Why would I start now?" She tried to make a joke, still obviously flustered. His face was tinged pink as he rushed down the stairs. Marinette laid back into her bed with thoughts of Cat Noir running through her mind. Surprisingly, that kiss was nice. It felt so natural. She didn't realize how much she had missed him. Through these last 2 weeks, she had felt so lonely. Depression set in, and she felt so helpless and worthless. Cat Noir can't heal what she has been through, but there's no one else she'd rather have by her side. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you are suffering from depression, please reach out. Here are some resources for you. Remember, you are miraculous.